Tonight, 4 Lakeland police officers are back on duty after a controversial arrest in December.
For months, state agents were investigating whether or not the officers used excessive force in the arrest of a Lakeland man.
And new tonight, the state attorney cleared those officers and said they should not be charged.
ABC Action News reporter Chad Mills reveals why he reached that conclusion. Chad?
Well, guys, after this video went viral, a number of activists and the man arrested in this video called for the officers to be charged. But Polk County's state attorney says what you see here doesn't tell the whole story. 4 Lakeland officers will not be charged after this December arrest, partially caught on camera in a viral video.
My dad is on the floor. Do not hit him.
According to a report, back in mid-December, the officers with Lakeland PD stopped a man who wasn't wearing a seatbelt, who they also questioned about marijuana. That man, Antoine Glover, says he tried to show his medical marijuana license but was grabbed by officers before he was punched, tased, and charged with resisting arrest, a charge he and his attorney dispute wholeheartedly.
His hands are up, back, showing, hey, I'm surrendering, I'm not fighting you, and you see an officer just come punch him in the face.
I sat in the back of the police car and I cried, and I just thank God that they didn't kill me that night.
Now, according to a letter from Polk County's state attorney, a state investigation of the arrest is done, and that investigation helped him conclude that the officers should not be charged. In a letter, Brian Haas writes this video, quote, is a misleading representation of the entire incident. He says Glover fought officers during the arrest, even putting one in a headlock, which is why officers responded with, quote, less than lethal tactics.
We don't have him in cuffs. He fights us every time.
He says those officers also thought a satchel strapped to Glover, quote, contained a deadly weapon. Quote, from my review of the report, it is clear to me that Glover presented an ongoing and escalating threat to the Lakeland police officers, Haas concluded.
I hate to make decisions on a partial video, but the part I saw was disturbing.
Terry Coney, the president of Lakeland's NAACP branch, can't yet say if he supports the state attorney's decision. He's withholding judgment until he can see the state's full report.
Transparency is always important.
And speaking of that report, the attorney of Glover told us she's holding off on responding to the state attorney's decision until she too can see that report. We've requested a copy from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement and expect to have it in our hands very soon. In the studio, I'm Chad Mills reporting.
Chad, thank you. Meanwhile, Lakeland PD tells us an administrative investigation of that arrest continues. The 4 officers are back on duty but are reassigned to other areas until that internal review is done.